Hi guys, welcome back to the Heel Project. Well, the wrestling channel. But we're back, and it's time for our, I say weekly podcast, boys, but we missed a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we missed a week. So we're catching up on the last 2 weeks of wrestling.
Yay.
As always, though, how are we?
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I can't
Good to be
complain.
back. Good to be back.
I mean,
I've missed a few.
I was going to say, you're here, so...
Hot is the main thing I am today.
I thought you were talking about me again.
No.
It is a bit warm. I've hurt my arm. It's in shop. People will be like, "What's that on your arm, you weirdo? You caught leprosy or something?" I haven't caught leprosy.
Got leprosy.
I might have leprosy.
He hasn't just caught it. He's had it
He's
for a
there
while.
for ages.
If my arm's missing next week, then you might suggest that maybe I do have leprosy or something.
On my way to
So
dance with a chainsaw on Monday.
just to literally prove the fact that I did have leprosy.
See,
after
Dad had
all.
leprosy.
It's worth the road trip.
I got some good news though. I remembered to do something this week because I forgot to do it our last podcast weekly catch up thingy majiggy. But we got our draft scores.
Ooh.
So previously we were at 126 to me, 104 to Pete, 151 to Link. However, it's gone a bit well for Link, really. He scored 56 points in the last few weeks. Pete scored 44 and I scored 38.
I mean, it makes sense. We had pay-per-views.
Yeah, the lead's gone well. So Bianca and Sammy and Swerve have got the most wins as solos at the minute since we've started the whole shebang. And of course, that leaves the whole scoreline at Link at 207, me at 164, and Pete at 148. So, not bad, boys. You're doing all right. Link's pulled away from it because I'm fairly sure he broke the system. He made the system and then broke it. I was like, this is suspicious. This is weird.
You all had the same rules.
Yeah, but you made the rules and then said, "Hey, I've created a loophole."
I told you what all the rules were. You all agreed to them.
Phil, you're the like third party on this. What do you think of that whole scenario of Link using tag teams that aren't always tag teams?
It's typical Link
For
in
the
it.
draft.
Typical Link.
I agree. Phil's not involved in the draft scores because he wasn't with us when we started, but he will be once we sort of get to the end of the year, and then if we do it again.
Yep.
If Titch still wants to keep doing the draft scores, because it's a lot of work, and my hair turned into a rooster there for a second.
I actually honestly think that you're clutching at straws though, because we all know that Link knows this stuff. So
I was sat talking to Titch while she did the scores today. It took her.
Oh, so I've not gone back and checked them. So what you're saying? Add on an extra.
Oh
5.
no! There's almost definitely mistakes. It took her all of 8 minutes.
Oh.
So, yeah, I can't say it's too much difficult work for her to do them. Wow. She's got a decent system now at least. So.
Thanks for her husband. Cheers, Bungle. But it's been a couple of weeks since we've done it. But the last thing that we sort of had, realistically, to talk about was Slammiversary. So I want to go through that very quickly because
it was a while ago now.
It was a while ago, but it was still good. Me and Link were the only ones watching it, so we're the only ones that'll probably talk about it, I'm sure. We had Broken Matt Hardy versus JDC, which is Fandango. But not Fandango.
Yeah.
It's good seeing that Matt Hardy was at his level, which is what we discussed. The System versus ABC. ABC won their titles back after their rematch from September. Mike Santana versus Jake Summerlin. We're 2 weeks later. I've forgotten about the match, I'll be honest. But it was beastly. It was beastly looking back at the sort of rundown I did from our What Just Happened. Because our What Just Happened is... I feel they don't need the need to point at the screen anymore. Thubs broke me with that.
Yeah.
It's on the screen somewhere. Yeah, bloody Thub.
Ignore. Just ignore.
The Rascals No Quarter Catch crew. It was an okay match. Told a story. Not that I was bothered by it, to be honest. Who the hell's highlighting my work?
Stop highlighting stuff.
It's confusing me now.
I'm going to copy it so I can see it on a better screen. Go on.
AJ Francis versus PCO. It was mayhem. Just mayhem. Go and watch it, though. Very good. Jordan Grace versus Ash by Elegance. Genuinely surprised by how good it was. Made Grace look like a bit of a mammoth, to be honest, boys, I thought.
Yeah, but didn't it make her look good as well? Ash by Elegance looked good as well. Like, I know obviously, we all know her as Dana Brooke, and I think me and Dan have both agreed that she was actually quite good as Dana Brooke. But it's nice to see her actually getting what she deserves and being in a decent spot, because she was always way too good for the crap that she got on WWE TV.
It was just a gimmick
so.
that was kind of pushed her down a little bit, I feel. But
She didn't really have a gimmick there. That's the thing.
Exactly. I think that's the thing. I didn't really observe that.
If anything, she should be worse off now because she's got this gimmick that's a bit meh.
But she was always a good wrestler.
But she unfortunately got the sort of the weird protege role that she had with Charlotte, and then they had nothing else for her after that, which was a bit poo. Yeah. But again, it means that when Jordan Grace does probably eventually jump ship to WWE, it shows they've got a bit more than just Jordan Grace there, which is great, because when you think about TNA, sometimes that's kind of all you think about in the women's roster when you're not sort of watching it every week.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali versus Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey did win this championship, won the X Division championship, but again, the whole thing was about Earl Hebner's sort of moment of him trying to rewrite history in Canada with not calling the sharpshooter and screwing the challenger again, and instead it was just watched by a lot less people.
I mean, yeah,
it was.
They also did call out Earl Hebner during this match. Like, it was just.
It was good that they managed to get it. To be fair.
yeah. Seeing Earl Hebner looks younger than Shawn Michaels,
who was like 20 years older than Shawn at the time. Well, he's like 20 years older than Shawn now. Yeah,
it was crazy. But Earl, bless him, still got it. Still. Just as entertaining as he always was. I'd love to see Earl back, but
yeah,
even if it was a one-off.
But the good news is, because we're all Dolph Ziggler fans, I'm fairly sure. Phil, you're a Dolph Ziggler fan,
I don't mind Dolph at all, no.
Okay, that's right. He's now the new TNA World Champion. The perfect main event to top off. Probably genuinely one of my sort of best pay-per-views of the year.
It was really good.
There was no bad match in it, which is what made it so solid. It was so solid.
I like it took a while to give it to nickname within it. Now I suppose you want to call him by his proper name. They didn't just whack it on him straight away.
Didn't just throw it straight to him. Yeah, no, I agree. And to be fair, I think that everybody expected Joe Hendry to have this one, and he didn't. So I think that made it even more better. Even more better.
But again, I don't know. It does feel like with Joe's not going to be in TNA for too long.
I think just to reiterate, because I know Dan ran through it very quickly, but AJ Francis versus PCO. If you haven't seen that match, go watch it. He was right. It's so good. It's nonsense, but it's so fun. Like, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you'll enjoy that match because it's entertainment at its best, and that's what that match was all about. It wasn't about the 90-minute barn burner wrestling competitions or all the rest. It was just fun. So yeah, definitely watch that one.
The thing is, he's nearly 60 years old, PCO.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely crazy. Like, some of the stuff that guy does is just unreal for his age, especially. Like, just he puts himself in some horrible positions.
I like where TNA is at the minute, to be honest, because I obviously had its rebrand back to TNA, but there's not silly contracts happening or money being thrown. Not that there is that much money about, but I'm sure if they wanted to get some money behind them and bigger backers, they probably could.
We thought that's where it was going to go straight away, but they've done it well.
It hasn't, which is, for me, is quite nice. It's quite refreshing that they've gone, okay, this is our
ceiling as such.
Our ceiling for the time being, this is our ceiling for this year, and this is what we should work at. And I feel like it did really well, because obviously it was in front of a small crowd. I'm just checking the number now.
It was like 5,000, if that.
4,100.
Yeah.
in the Verdant Auditorium, which when you look at it on Wikipedia, it literally looks like a factory.
It's very small, very
But
very
I'm
small
like,
crowd.
That's perfect that they knew damn well to not
overbook themselves.
What's their biggest attendance? Do you know? Just out of interest, you mentioning it
in history.
That was their biggest. That was their biggest one in like 11 years, I think they said.
Wow, that's quite mad. Yeah, so that even that they're not going to be much bigger than 4,100, to be honest, Phil.
I mean, back in the day when because they were always in the
they
impact zone.
Massive, yeah.
They made the impact
zone.
A
quick girdle.
They didn't move back then, did they? That was the thing. It's
highest TNA attendance
7,200.
Wow.
What was that?
That was at lockdown 2013.
2013, yeah. I'm just seeing that.
So that'll be when Hardy, Sting, and
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, main event was Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I remember that one.
Yeah, but again, there was okay names on that. They weren't.
I used to love the lockdown pay-per-views as well because everything was in the cage.
Yeah.
Brilliant concept, brilliant idea.
I think that was when Aces and Eights all got unveiled, weren't it?
I think you might be right. Yeah.
But again, it's so 4,000 is pretty damn good, to be fair. They've not just gone, hey, here's a venue that we can't fill.
Yeah.
Not pointing fingers at anybody just yet. Shall we move on to Raw?
Seems like the correct step.
From the 22nd of July.
So last
guess what, guys?
Not this week's that's just gone.
Guess what? That was a Monday. Just
I'll give it away.
Because it was a Raw. Right, so I'm trying to remember some of this, to be honest. I gave us such a good rundown because I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to nail this, and I did it really, really well. And I'm struggling to remember this first bit, but I wrote, Judgment Day. Wow, I didn't write that. Judgment Day, a street trash, according to Gunther. Priest comes out and just starts out an all-out brawl with Gunther. No more words needed.
Yeah,
the fighting continues after the break.
So Gunther was in the ring calling him out basically. Priest came down with the microphone and he kind of just threw the microphone off to one side and headbutted Gunther, if you remember. Like, I'm not going to talk. Whack. There we go.
Oh, that was it. The fighting went on backstage, didn't it?
Yeah.
After the break, and you were having a pee at that point.
Yeah, and then they both got sent home.
That was it. We then had the number one contenders match, Dragunov versus Bron Breakker, which now at this point, I'm really surprised with where we're at with the whole IC title threat picture, if I'm honest, with the way that they've ended up booking this. But I've wrote, well, Bron Breakker spears Dragunov into the side of the ring, and the match gets called off through injury, and that's the way that happened. They didn't come back to it. The match never actually happened. It never took place at all.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, he speared him, and he kind of, rather than just falling straight, he kind of fell to the side, which looked really weird in the first place. But he did it just so that he could bang his head against the apron. It was a bit meth.
Well, yeah, it wasn't my favourite moment of the night. I probably had a little moan about it because I like a moan.
They definitely could have done it better. It wasn't the best looking thing that they'd done. But I get the point. They're going for the 1-on-1 so that Ilya can come back afterwards and challenge Bron because Bron took him out and Bron will obviously be the champion at that point. So I kind of get it.
And to be fair, Bron versus Ilya at Bash at Berlin.
Yes, that is next, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, I could be okay with this. I could be okay with it.
Yeah, I can live with it.
Drew backstage apologising to the referees. Oh my god, this moment. We had a whole conversation about this. Drew started apologising to the referees. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, because we had it. Wait, have we gone out of order? No, because we didn't actually cover the SmackDown before. But I'll be honest, the SmackDown before was no, but we wouldn't have done at all because remember we filmed this on a Tuesday. So the following SmackDown we've. No. So if we film this on a Tuesday, we had a SmackDown that we've missed to cover.
Right.
So our last one we would have filmed would have been on the 16th.
What's that got to do with Drew?
No, because they Oh no, that would have been on Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we did. No, maybe we did. Maybe we did. I don't remember us talking about it. That's why I'm saying it.
Just
I
2
thought
weeks
maybe
ago.
that was on.
3 weeks ago since we spoke about it.
All right, ignore me. But yeah, apologising to the rest, making the whole thing bloody pointless.
Yeah. So what happened here, and it's kind of obvious, is they didn't know whether Punk was going to be cleared or not. So they were trying to find a way to keep Punk relevant, to keep Drew not quite committed to having a match with Seth, while they tried to find out whether Punk was going to be back in time. This week they'd find out that Punk was going to be back in time, so then they've made the whole the ref story into the whole thing with, oh, the refs don't trust these guys, which is why now we've got Seth as the referee.
Because nobody else would.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we get to.
We do.
Wait,
We do get to. Yeah, sorry. I've jumped the gun a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, we're there. Oh, there we are. But yeah, Sonya came out with her stable as well after the whole Drew backstage thing. They won again. They're making good progress with Sonya, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler.
This week.
I'm liking that week, and then they started to this week as well. But we'll get to that as well, and then they blew it. Nikki Cross cut her promo. That was very good. I can't tell you exactly what happened because
it was a quick one. It was
this
very
is
short.
One-off dodgy 10 minutes
compared to the Eric Rowan one the week before. This one was very short. The Nikki Cross video one. It worked, but it was a lot shorter. And they did the same thing this week, but for I think Dexter Lumis, but it was even shorter still. So
it was a very quick one.
Maybe that's probably because Rowan had more to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Invested in the thing.
Well, Rowan's this was straight from the heart because he was talking about Brody and and Bray,
Rowan's kind of mattered. with all due respect, it was
Jesus Christ.
Well, it was relevant to the story as well. It wasn't just
I know what you mean.
Yeah, the other two were kind of just. Oh, now we're spooky! It wasn't really much more to it.
No, you're right. Next moment. Go on, Link. You wanted to talk about it. You can talk about it.
I mean, you've written as it goes, basically. CM Punk came out, called out Drew McIntyre. It very much looked like we was just going to go back into the same stuff all over again, where they just kind of go back and forth, and then we ended up with Seth Rollins being made the official referee, which I don't know if you've...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
I did there.
So Adam Pearce was worried that Gunther and Priest situation was going to repeat itself, because obviously they'd just been sent home. So instead he announces that Seth's going to be the referee. And we ended up with Seth being officially made the referee for that match because he was doing absolutely nothing at SummerSlam otherwise. Whereas if Punk would have been unavailable, it would have been Drew versus Seth. Yeah.
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 So that's why they'd held it off until after they knew that Punk was cleared, basically.
Yeah. We had the moment that then broke the internet this last week.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan still trying to get Dom's attention backstage, wearing very, very small jorts. And I've written on the rundown sheet because I knew that Phil wouldn't have checked it from last week when we did this. Phil instantly starts Googling for this image.
Oh, I've seen it. Don't you worry.
You would have done. Well, you've seen the moment where she's up in the rafters.
I did actually.
Not in the moment when they're backstage.
Yeah.
Carlito and JD attacking Jay backstage during a Sammy promo. Sammy to the rescue. It's the same stuff repeating itself over and over again, if I'm honest.
Yeah, kind of.
Sammy and Jesus.
Final Testament beat Otis, Cesaro and Woods last week, which then led into Chad Gable coming out afterwards with the Creed brothers. Of course, Chad and the Creed brothers attack Old Alpha Academy with the Wyatt Six. Well, Howdy coming out to attack Chad and save Old Alpha Academy. That's a hard bunch to say. Old Alpha Academy.
Old Alpha Academy.
Who even this week still came out to the Alpha Academy theme with the Alpha Academy logos on the screen.
They did.
It's a bit stupid.
It's so dumb.
The highlight of this, and I know Phil's probably going to mention it because I have seen that he's going to mention it, but the highlight of this was just watching Howdy attack Chad right at the end.
Chad.
And plant him like a tree.
That's not the one I'm mentioning.
It was beautiful.
But yeah, that was good. I think it was better.
No, this is one you're going to mention.
Was it? I can't remember now.
This is from last week, so you've got it written down.
Yeah.
I've written down mine. Mine was the same. This was it. Yeah, so this was our moments of the week, so we might as well just scrap that off before we get to
Well, you can... I got a moment of the week, so calm down, sunshine.
Yeah,
why didn't you write them out then?
We have.
For last week.
I have!
No, you didn't. For last week, not for this week.
Because we didn't even have the fucking category written there.
No, I've just done it as one.
Yeah, the category is only there at the bottom.
No, it wasn't. I've just deleted it. Like, literally just.
Then suck him up. Rhea then dragged Dom to the ring after their weird,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to the whole thing. It's all very uncomfortable. But to call out Liv and demands Liv takes him. Dom says he hates Liv. And Liv's back with her jorts, turning round and showing out her ass. I'll be honest, Liv has impressed me the last couple of weeks. Her promos are so much better than they have been.
Said for a long time.
So much better.
We said for the last couple of weeks, really, haven't we? That if Liv would have been like this from the start, we might have actually found her entertaining. But she's been so. Her promos and stuff have been so bad before recently that she's not been worth watching. But yeah, I don't know what's changed, but her stuff is really good now. Like, really good.
Oh yeah,
like,
totally.
Complaining, whatever it is, definitely massive difference between first title reign and now.
I'll say if that's just, are you just saying for the arse? Is that because you like to show your arse? She's shown her arse, so you've sort of...
My arse is better.
You feel like a kindred spirits. So yeah, and then at that point, I know that there was something else that happened after this in the main event, but I'll be honest, we'll hold our hands up, Twitch all know. Me and Link went to bed.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened after that last week. And to be honest, we both said to us when we woke up the next morning.
We're glad we went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we were there, Phil, this is sort of your segment. Would you like to talk about how our week in wrestling history?
Oh, so that week, I picked out the 24th of July, 2001. And Kurt Angle defeated Booker T by submission for the WCW World Heavyweight title at a Smackdown taping in Angle's hometown of Pennsylvania, obviously.
It's true. Damn true.
It's true. It's true. It's damn true.
23 years ago. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Makes you feel old, doesn't it? But is Angle one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, or has it now got to that point where he's
underrated wrestler of all time?
I don't think he's underrated.
This is exactly what I'm going to say. Is it because he's got to this point where he became underrated by so many for so long that now he's everyone's sort of realised just how good he was.
Yeah,
it's a funny one, and
I don't think he's underrated now. I think
he was for a long time.
So I don't think he was. I think what it was is because he played the heel and he was very good at the heel, people hated him. And it was very similar to Roman Reigns, like before his current run, where he was very, very good. It's just that people hated him so much that they didn't really care. And John Cena, like earlier on in his career as well, where everybody was just like, "Oh, just go away." Like,
yeah, I think it was like that until he joined TNA, and everyone just kind of got that buzz about him again and realised how good he was.
TNA definitely helped him. Although I personally really enjoyed him in ECW as well.
Yeah.
We aren't going to talk about it too much, but would you like to lead on with the AEW chat for this week?
So rather than talking about most of AEW, I'm just going to talk about Blood and Guts.
Go for it.
Blood and Guts was amazing. Like, genuinely, just... I can't say enough. Pete, have you watched it? Please tell me
I've seen bits. I haven't watched it properly yet. I've seen bits.
It's non-stop. It's non-stop. Like, from the moment they start coming out to when the bell finally rings, despite the fact that Swerve's handcuffed on the outside, so
Yeah, I've seen
he
about
can't
this,
have
yeah.
started it. So basically, Adam Page doesn't bother coming out when it's his turn. Then Swerve's music hits. Swerve comes out when it's his turn. Adam Page jumps Swerve from behind and cuffs Swerve to the cage on the outside and just stands there and wails on him for like 3-4 minutes, just battering him against the cage while he's handcuffed up and can't move.
I think the person who saves him was more of a shock for me.
Yeah, it was Matt or Nick Jackson, I don't know which one. Basically said,
no one knows.
Basically said, you need to get in the ring now and help us with the match, or we're going to fire you to Adam Page, rather than like leaving him there just battering Swerve. It was a bit confusing, but
Yeah.
To be fair, the Bucks did really weird stuff throughout this match, because there was that spot there, and then the end of the match as well.
Yeah.
Darby Allin had Jack Perry handcuffed to the other side of the cage, inside the cage, poured petrol all over him. Gas. Sorry, Americans.
Yeah.
And then threatened to light him on fire unless he gave him a title shot and quit the match. That was Darby's stipulations.
He weren't doing it.
And then Perry was just like, no. Like, genuinely was just like, no, set me on fire. I'm not doing it. And then, yeah, it was one of the Bucks again jumped up and was like, no, you've got the match. Stop. This is too far. We quit. Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I don't know. I didn't expect it. It was a great match. Honestly, there was a chair shot during the match as well that we should probably mention briefly.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Don't like it. To stop doing it. Stop. There is zero need for head chair shots.
They have said it was gimmicked.
They have said it was a gimmicked chair and that it was shaven down to make the chair softer so that it didn't actually cause damage.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not is a debatable subject, and I don't know. But
Because it was only brought up once people started kicking up about it. And
I was about to say, it sounds... Well, to be fair, Pete, they're not going to bring it up before the chair shot happens.
yeah, it's also true.
True.
But they're like...
But would they put
they're
that
legal.
thought
It
into
does... Oh, it reeks of my legal team. My legal team have told me to say.
Yeah. In other news, on the same show, MJF has changed the international title into the American title, similar to how Will Ospreay made the New Japan US title into the UK title a few years ago.
That's the one, yeah.
So it's now Will versus MJF, probably, for the America title at All In.
Yeah.
If it doesn't
I'll be
happen
honest.
beforehand.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's a lot. It's still a while too. We're 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away.
3 weeks, yeah.
There's another little bit of news going to come up in a little bit that we'll talk about when it comes up to do with that match as well. But yeah, that's the gist of what happened with AEW this week. I'm sure there was more stuff on Collision. I'm going to be honest, I don't watch Collision. I'm sorry.
Who would like to take a lead on SmackDown from this week? Although, Link, you have done a bloody good job here actually this week. You've literally written it as you like to say it. I'm well impressed.
So I'll take it. So SmackDown was a pre-tape. We opened the show with the Bloodline talking to someone. I don't remember who they were talking to be honest with you. But basically, they were saying that they were getting their place in the gauntlet match stripped from them because Tonga Loa is injured. He's got an eye injury. He's wearing a patch. It's the most kayfabe injury that's ever existed.
He's wearing a bandage and an eye patch over the top.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So basically, they were going to take him out, and he was like, "Well, hang on, no, the Bloodline is still in the match. It's just not him." And then they put Jacob Fatu in there. So it's Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga are going to represent the Bloodline in the tag team tournament or tag team gauntlet match later on tonight. Logan Paul and LA Knight was made official last week. We forgot to mention that at all. Because we didn't cover SmackDown last week. Sorry. That was made official
Or didn't care.
Is that the one with the decent Logan Paul promo? Where he...
That was last week.
Logan Paul
right,
cut
okay.
a promo.
It wasn't bad actually last week. His promo was decent last week. To be fair, you're you're like the opposite to a Mark. You just anything Logan.
Dave.
You're just like wah, yeah.
Was
Classic Dave.
Was Logan on the Japan tour?
No, he wasn't.
Wonder why I hate him. Dig. Naomi calls Byron Saxton Saxy, which
is shit.
made me cringe a little bit. Not gonna lie. The less we talk about that, the better. We're shown Bayley destroying the Money in the Bank briefcase from last week, because Bayley destroyed the Money in the Bank briefcase last week.
She did.
Which we said at the time will be so that Tiffany can get her new briefcase. And that was reiterated here because she had it all taped together and it looked like crap. And Nia Jax said that she's going to get Tiffany a new case.
Yeah, one that will suit her.
One that will suit her, so yeah. Expect
Do we think we get that? Do we think we get that this Friday, or do we think we get that on SummerSlam?
Wouldn't be shocked to see it at SummerSlam.
Debuted. Cash in on Nia, maybe.
I don't think she's going to cash in the same night. I think she's going to hold it for a while. I honestly do. I think it'd be a waste to cash in the same night.
Oh, especially if she's got a new case, it would be. But yeah.
I think she's going to hold it for a while.
Yeah,
especially because she's getting it designed for her. I think she's going to hold it for a little while.
Plus, the shop will have to sell a few of them first.
Exactly why I think she'll hold it. Yeah.
You're so right. That's so messed up, though.
We're also told that Bianca and Jade will get their rematch for the tag team titles against Fire and Dawn on SmackDown this week, so on Friday.
Crap. Absolute dog shit. That should be on the pre-show.
No, pre-show's possible, actually. I'll give you the pre-show. The thing is, this week's SmackDown's actually looking like quite a stacked show, considering all the things that I've seen for it. And the same with Raw after SummerSlam as well.
I don't know if that's been announced before that, but we don't know if we are getting the tag team title with them four this week.
What are you on about?
Because the tag team titles are up on NXT tomorrow first.
Oh, yes, they did mention that. Sorry. I've not covered NXT at all this week, though. So
no, but
if you know something that you want to...
Oh, no, it was just Isla Dawn and Alba Fire defending their tag team titles on SmackDown. And the winner of that match goes across to Friday Night SmackDown.
On NXT. And then going to Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, Friday Night SmackDown. The winners of that on NXT going to SmackDown, yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't know who it is, but fair enough.
I can't remember who it was.
We then start the tag team gauntlet match, which, by the way...
This was really good.
It was a really good match. Really, really good match. So we started off with Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, who,
that
by
was
the way...
bad bit.
Still think that's a terrible team. I still like Corbin, though. I don't like Crews.
It's a waste to stick him with. You imagine going from Bron Breakker to Apollo Crews to tag team.
It's painful.
Do you know what I'm liking about Crews?
Go on.
Nothing.
He's making Baron Corbin look really, really good in his tag team.
Corbin looks good
that's
anyway.
the thing. Corbin's good, but when he was with Bron Breakker, Corbin was being outshone a bit.
He was. I get what you're saying.
This makes him the main guy.
Yeah, but I think Corbin still had that thing about him that he brought the experience to the tag team. And he didn't have to be.
He wasn't carrying
better
someone else
in the ring.
Yeah,
he was the experience that Bron needed.
Plus, I want to see Corbin turn heel on him and just beat.
And even when he was teamed with Bron, Bron wasn't carrying Corbin. Like they were equal in that team. Yeah, it was. Whereas this is.
Everyone was just more hyped about Bron Breakker because he was totally
because he was new, and he's clearly the next big thing as well. Like he's going to be a world champion. He's going 100%. To be right up there. So it's. Anyway, they were in there against Legado del Fantasma, which was Angel and Berto, who are literally just called Angel and Berto now. There's no more to their names, which was a bit weird. They lost. So Corbin and Crews stayed in, and the Street Profits entered.
Elektra Lopez has got great tits, by the way.
Yes.
Just thought I'd point that one out. Someone's got to.
I don't even know if that's PG. Street Profits came in. Crews got folded up so badly during one of the spots in this match that he kneed himself in the face.
He did.
We've all been there.
And carried on.
And carried on. Yeah, there was another spot later on, but essentially Corbin and Cruz got removed from the match. They were done, and the Street Profits remained in, as did Yes Boy. Pretty Deadly came in, and they shouted about Yes Boy the musical, which apparently is going to be a thing. And then they lost, so the OC came in to replace them against the Street Profits at this point still. OC came in, OC went out. That was the highlights of the OC. Bloodline then came in, so we had the Bloodline versus the Street Profits, who'd already gone through three different teams at this point, with Corbin, Cruz, Pretty Deadly, and the OC, if you count that. Bloodline in, Fatu and Tama, accompanied by Solo and Tonga Loa. So Tonga Loa's still there, despite the fact that he's injured.
He's one eye.
That's something altogether different. That definitely isn't PG. We definitely can't talk about his one eye.
Either way, Bloodline are clearly the number one contenders to DIY tag team titles, and the match is made for next week on SmackDown as well. Apparently Mike got hard at this point and likes lemonade. I don't know, I was confused. A-Town Down Under call out Terence Crawford, some boxer dude that was on last week's show. They advertised a boxing fight that's on the same day as SummerSlam. A-Town Down Under ask for an apology for handing Cody a chair last week on SmackDown. Waller gets Theory knocked out by throwing him at him, basically, and then runs off. Pointless. That's not all I wrote about this, but that's what I wrote about this. It was just yeah.
It was just because Terence Crawford, they were in his hometown, and he got the hometown pop.
Well, it was advertising.
You got it twice, mate.
Yeah.
You got it twice. You got it twice.
Yeah.
That's the worst bit because of the bloody.
Yeah.
And the worst bit was when they actually went. It's going to be so annoying for the crowd because they were like, "Yeah, you were here last week. And he's backstage again. Let's call him out."
Yeah, that 100%. I do feel like because I did think it was very weird that they had that tape in.
Yeah. It was.
I do partly feel like it was that was why they got him on it.
It was just advertising.
We could do
That's the
twice.
worst part. It was advertising.
Terrible.
Yeah. Cody does some sit-down interview where he's talking about things. Talks about how Orton and Owens were taken out, and he heads into SummerSlam alone. But as champion against the Bloodline this week, the night before Slam, Cody asks for a face-to-face with Solo, asking for it to be one-on-one face-to-face on SmackDown, so that it's the day before SummerSlam.
Yep.
Bayley and Michin versus Tiffany and Nia Jax is the main event. How is Michin? How is Michin not only still, in matches, but still in matches in the main event of SmackDown, this close to something like it's crazy to me. Nia and Tiff win, so great. They pinned Bayley, so
it's not even Michin was there.
Michin wasn't even there to take the pin. Bayley got pinned. So Tiff hit Bayley with the briefcase, which then Nia did the Annihilator or whatever it is, the move where she sits on people and got the pin. Solo then has his little promo thing at the end of the show. Do you know the thing where he's backstage and you just see him sat at a desk like the old Godfather movies? Solo accepts Cody's face-to-face call-out for next week. He then calls out Roman Reigns and says he'll end up like Randy and Kevin and acknowledge him. So
if he's got a problem, you know where to find me.
Yeah,
which I don't like, if I'm honest, because it's just
it's foreshadowing. We're definitely
obviously he's going to turn up at Slam now, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
I almost wanted that. He's Roman Reigns, and this guy's trying to be the tribal chief. You don't actually need to mention Roman Reigns' name at all.
We still might not get him at SummerSlam. There is still that possibility. There is still the possibility that they're just teasing it. And
I do want
to
to tease it, and I've said what I'd love. I was thinking of this: is you see Heyman, you see him make a phone call, everybody thinks he's Roman, and we get Jimmy and Jay come out as the Usos again with him.
Do you know what? I can see that happening. I can see that. They'll
build that with them with Paul Heyman for a little bit until Roman.
We're not getting Paul back for a while. Paul probably won't be back until after Roman.
Or even with Roman.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
they
him
need,
have
they
to make
need
the
to
phone
sell.
call.
They need to sell that.
How long has it been now since that injury?
About 3 weeks.
A month?
Yeah, around 3 weeks for a month, something like that.
Yeah, this is Paul Heyman. This isn't a wrestler. A month isn't that long for that sort of thing. Like, he needs to be gone for longer.
No, but I'd want to see him come back with the neck brace and everything.
Yeah, if he came back now with a neck brace on, it'd be a little bit more acceptable. But
Yeah.
there's a problem with that.
Go on.
Paul Heyman doesn't have a neck.
Yeah. Get him back with Jimmy and Jay for now.
He'd look like he's got one of those travel pillows on.
He'd look like a dog.
He'd like a 2-minute jumper.
He'd look like a dog that's been to the vets and has got one of them coat of shames on. You know, it's just stop ignoring it himself. I don't know.
Paul Heyman enters town. The price of scarves plummet. We'll move on to Raw anyway from this week, last Monday. So as we're talking about this last night, but for you guys, 2 nights ago.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, do you know what? I didn't mind the opening segment of Raw. It was a little bit long, but again, it's what thing on Raw isn't quite long. Yeah, you did know that.
Took a lot of praise. Apparently, all 3 of them were on fire.
Yeah, they're good, but I'm still not feeling the thing that I should do for this match. This is the one match that isn't a title match, and I should feel a bit more passion and excitement about this match because it doesn't have a title round it.
I'm looking
I
forward to
don't,
it.
but adding Seth to it does definitely add something.
Yeah, because I don't know which way it's going. It's going to go one way or the other, and I don't know what Seth's involvement is going to be. He openly admits he hates them both as much as each other, and I really think we're going to end up with Seth Punk. So, is he going to help Drew with this?
I think so. From everything that was being said and happening, I think so.
Nope.
I also don't. I don't want Drew to look crap coming out of this because, let's be honest, Drew's the only one that realistically should be built towards going back towards the title at all at the moment.
Yeah, Punk won't be, and Seth won't be.
Punk and Seth are going to go into a feud with each other. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
Drew's had that feud with Punk now that's kind of drawn on for too long because of the injury. I think the best thing they can do for Drew is to get him out of this as soon as possible and get him back onto some sort of winning schedule because everything he wins is either he's been screwed to win or screwed to lose because it does seem like everything he said has been true and he's been screwed out of everything.
The thing is, I don't want to see it, but I really think we might end up getting a face Drew again soon. I think Punk's still getting cheered. We're gonna get a heel Rollins.
I think Rollins is going to go heel. I think Rollins has to go heel.
Yeah, but I think we're going to get a face Drew going for one of the titles soon.
They're kind of a bit more loose with this at the moment because, and obviously we'll get to it. But even with actually, no, we won't get to it. No, we will get to it. I was going to mention. No, we will. I was going to mention because we've got to the bit with Gunther and Priest. They kind of got a weird dynamic and. There's a couple of other things on the shows as well that have got a weird dynamic of who's face and who's heel. Like Rhea's face and Liv is heel.
Yeah.
But Dom's a heel. And then they're so it kind of it's all kind of weird amalgamation, especially around the Judgment Day stuff. There's faces and heels everywhere within the same stable. It's very odd.
I've written a few things down for a few people from this episode of Raw. Going heel or face, heel or face, heel or face. Because, there's a few times this happened in this episode.
Yeah. Shall we move on to the next segment now after this match?
Yeah, what was the next segment?
Or after that
match?
segment.
I don't know.
It wasn't that match. It wasn't that match. It was a segment. Sorry. Should we move on to the segment after that segment?
Sure.
Wow.
Tell us what it is, because the order isn't the order.
Oh, okay. Did we miss bits? What did we miss?
I don't know.
There was anything else that didn't matter. Anything else didn't matter last night, if I'm honest. Everything that we've written down is what we need to talk about. All the rest was a bit crap.
Right, okay.
And just
we're going through it in the order it's written.
It is in that order.
Okay.
But we've just missed little bits. But again, if we missed it, I've rewatched everything. It's boring.
Okay.
It's just Raw filler. Raw doesn't need to be 3 hours. I've been saying this for so long.
Oh no, it doesn't.
I mean, to be fair, they have had weeks where Raw being 3 hours has been okay.
I wouldn't mind the odd special every now and again. You know it's going to be a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Go the first hour.
I'll give you that.
Things.
I'd like to see him bring back like the special Raws more often. Like, you remember when you used to have the old school Raw or like, Raw Roulette and things like that?
Yeah.
Like, we don't get any of that stuff anymore.
No, bring
like
back
the special
specials.
Dynamites.
No, not like that.
Well, they do one every week. Yeah, we had what? How did that match start? Yeah.
So it was the new Alpha Academy were in the ring, or the old Alpha Academy were in the ring. One or the other.
With the old music.
And the old one. No, wait, hang on. Go on, carry on.
They basically they started a bit of an attack back and forth. Eventually, the Creeds had kind of cleared house with Gable, and then Maxine slapped Chad.
That's it. Boosh.
Chad sort of walked towards Maxine, and then the music and the lights went out and all the rest of it.
Dropped.
And we got 3 figures emerge on the ramp in their silhouette forms, which were the Rambling Rabbit, the Buzzard, and the Pig.
Yep.
They all walked towards the ring, got up on the apron to the Alpha Academy, and Chad was stood in the ring looking towards them. And then all 3 of them removed their masks. Obviously, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan. They then climbed in the ring, and Lumis and Gacy both hit Uranagis on both of the Creed brothers, respectively. Took them both down, and then as they got back up, Rowan ran past them and then came back at us with like a double crossbody and took them both and flattened them both with that as well. Gable tried to run off, and Nikki Cross jumped off the top rope, knocking him down out of nowhere. He then managed to roll out the ring and run off again. He was running up the ramp, and as he ran off up the ramp, he ran pretty much into Uncle Howdy, who was stood at the top of the ramp. And he then ran backstage. That was the end of the in-ring segment for these guys tonight. It wasn't as special as some of the other stuff that they've done, but it was good. It was the first time that they've been physical. First time that they've took their masks off. So, yeah, I didn't mind it at all. Later on in the night, we had Gable running up to Adam Pearce, complaining about it all again.
This was funny.
Basically, he was bragging about the fact that he'd now figured out who these other 3 people were. And he was like, it's Joe Gacy, it's Eric Rowan, and it's Dexter Lumis. And he goes, I know. They're all under contract. I signed their contracts. Of course I know. So then Gable obviously put 2 and 2 together, realised that they're under contract so they can have a match. And the match was made for Raw next week.
How is this not on SummerSlam?
I'm so pissed off. The fact of...
I'm going to be honest.
We could totally have the whole of SummerSlam. Well, to be fair, it's starting at midnight, and we could just have it still go to the run to the normal time, which I don't think we are. But again, we could have it at 11, and we could actually have like less pre-show, no matches, and actually fill out a really good show.
Well, the thing is,
and have like 10 matches.
You've got
solid 10 matches.
7
as well.
matches. Do you know what? I don't even mind that it's on a Raw, but it's their first match. It's their first matches in ring competition. I thought they would have definitely helped with a SummerSlam.
I think because of the way that they're doing it, it's not Uncle Howdy. And I think putting it on the weekly show means that it can end without it ending. If that makes sense. If it happened on SummerSlam, it'd need to have a definitive ending.
Needs to be a win.
And I don't think on a weekly show it'll need a definitive ending. And I don't think it's going to have a definitive ending.
Makes sense.
Because I don't think that the Creeds need to take like that team need to take a loss either at the moment. I think it's too early for them to just be getting squashed.
I do worry that what we're doing with the Creeds at the minute, they have been made to look like absolute morons since they've joined.
Exactly, which is why I think that this is going to be why I think it's on the weekly, because I don't think it's going to end as cut and dry as we probably all think it will.
I have concerns that they may even drop the ball with them though eventually if they're not careful.
Well, we all thought that with Chad, and they've managed to pull him back. So maybe
they've definitely done well with it.
You know, who knows? Who knows? Let's
Chad's all right.
Give him time and see what happens. I guess that's all we can say.
Yeah. But the next moment I took from this, we had a Sheamus Bronson Reed match.
Yeah. Big.
And Dunn came out and attacked Pete Dunne. But WWE said, like, here's a weapon. It's not a chair. It's nothing that we use all the time. You can have a shillelagh because it's an Irish person. Because the last person that we had a shillelagh was Irish.
Well, the Brawling Brutes used to use the shillelaghs as well as a team. So
yeah, but it's just a bit like it's so WWE.
Do you know what?
The fact that out of all the weapons, the Irish they get a shillelagh. They don't have anything else. I don't need to have anything else for those people. It's just so WWE. So WWE.
You know, though, something I did see in this match and I was really impressed by. Sheamus's white noise from the middle turnbuckle with Bronson Reed.
It's pretty impressive.
It was he picks him up, makes a white noise from the second turnbuckle.
It's
okay.
It's amazing what Bronson Reed will put himself through. Like he's not afraid to take a big bump.
No, because that could have easily gone very wrong. Yeah.
Well, if you watch the move, Sheamus lost grip on him at one point as well. It didn't look like it was going to land very well at all.
No, and he's kind of given a bit more time. I was impressed with that.
Yeah. The Carlito had a match. He was against. Was he against?
Jay Uso.
No, Jay was Jay. I was going to say he was Jay, but he wasn't Jay. He was Jay.
He had to take him out on his own to solve the problem.
Yeah. That was it. And I thought Jay. I was thinking for a second Jay came out, but there was a great moment where Carlito ate the apple. He sort of went to chew it. He went to turn around, and then he had to obviously get into some sort of move and run out, try and attack Jay. Missed him. Bounced off the ropes. Jay obviously the other side, and then Jay spears him. Great moment of Carlito just spraying the apple in the air as he speared. Yeah, wicked moment. I like that.
It was after the match. It cut back to Jay, and you see Jay carrying on eating the apple.
That's grim.
that doesn't seem like a good idea.
No, half chewed apple, and he's now munching on it himself. He must have been hungry.
That's grim.
Yeah,
absolutely grim.
I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay,
brother.
We did have Sonya Deville and Shayna and Zoe together at one point in the show. I can't remember exactly.
They
which
had
point
a
of the thing.
6-woman tag match against Caden Carter, Katana Chance, and
that's the one.
And
I don't know the other one was. I can't remember.
Was it Valkyria?
Oh, it might have been actually. Yeah, that does ring a bell. Yeah.
Because they'll come out in their purple.
I don't remember where that was in the order, which I thought was good because the right people won.
Katana Chance got injured during this match. It looks like she's broken her nose. She might be out for a little
while. I feel bad for her. Does it matter in the grand scheme of WWE?
To be fair, they had something different. They're a unique team. Chance and Katana. Wait, that's the same person.
They're handy to make Sonya's new team look good. I agree. They are enhancement talent.
They are at the moment, yeah, absolutely. But genuinely, as a tag team, as a women's tag team, because we don't have many actual women's tag teams.
No, that's what I was going to say.
They are an actual women's tag team, and they are genuinely very good. They're very innovative with their movesets. I think they're quite underrated.
And you say about making Sonya's team look good. To be fair, Shayna's good. Shayna's a good wrestler anyway. Debbie Stark's a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this team
not bad.
Well, that team should be absolutely dominant. Holy crap! I've said it from the start. Like that is an absolute
A powerhouse team, yeah.
Powerhouse team. They should absolutely destroy the women's roster for a little while, realistically. And to be honest, at least one, maybe two of them should win a world title in that phase. And then they won their match, and then Damage Control returned with no Asuka, and then they beat them up. I was like, oh,
So essentially,
well, there goes that one.
So essentially, because Zoe, Sonya, and Shayna have been sort of controlling the women's division as such on SmackDown, on Raw, even Damage Control have turned up and said, "Well, we're going to take back control."
Yeah, you've only had that because we wasn't here.
So the thing that confused me, and I've written it on the thing, so you can see what I'm going to say.
I've written that as well.
What their face?
I can't work out who's face and who's not.
Because if Damage Control are face now, then
what
the hell happened with Bailey? Like,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's just
there's no point to any of it.
Or if we can end up, I don't want whatever happens. I do not want to face Shayna again.
No.
Like if they're going to go down that route instead, and it's going to be Shayna and Zoe and Sonya eventually end up as the face out of the two tag teams.
No,
thank you.
I don't think
no, thank you.
I think we're going to get hill on hill because I really think we're going to end up getting with Bianca and Naomi and
Jade.
I think this
Jade Cargill. I think those three are going to end up fighting the winner of the once this little feud's done. We're going to get Naomi joined up with Bianca.
Do you know what I think this is? I think this is the building of the Survivor's War Games women's sides.
Yeah, and you're going to start to see a few little factions forming now.
I feel like this could be what we get come Survivor Series War Games. There may not be too much of them always against each other between now and November, but I think that could well be the women's Survivor Series War Games match.
If they do kind of go face, Damage Control, I wonder if they would try and get Bailey on their side. Which would be completely pointless, but...
So pointless. So WWE, though.
Yeah. Then being a person down, be like, Bailey, we need your help. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We need you.
Oh, dear.
It's going to happen. Dear. It's going to happen.
What an awful note to end on for our wrestling recap part of this.
No, we haven't. We haven't. You need to talk about the main event as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we skipped. Thank God for that.
I'll write that
down. So, main event. We had Gunther versus Finn. Finn obviously stepping up for the Judgment Day in that role. Honestly, for this match, I really, really wanted to see Finn put on a decent match against Gunther. This is the first time that these two have ever faced each other.
Yeah, they mentioned that. They even brought that up in there. These two have done the indies. They always missed each other.
And this match fell so flat.
It
wasn't a good match. And then Gunther put him away by just putting him to sleep. He just put him in a sleep hole and knocked him out. Like, it was just...
The thing was, what done being, he leaned into the side. His head weren't down, his head weren't up. He was kind of leaning to one side. And then when he got him in it again, he woke up. It was like, oh. Finn can have some really good matches. And this really wasn't one of them.
I'm hoping the whole Judgment Day thing runs its course soon, kind of.
Yeah.
For Finn's sake. Because
they need to break up on Friday.
I think it'll be Friday or it'll be at Slam. Something will happen at Slam and then you'll start to see the breakup.
No, they need to break up on Friday.
I have a theory about it. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. We got some predictions. We can talk about it then.
Yep.
I haven't written mine down for that exact reason. But I think that does round us off out for Raw, doesn't it?
Yeah, obviously, Priest ran in and made the save after
generic
Finn was
tag
out.
Team stuff. Though,
so essentially, Finn went out. Gunther let go of the hold, and then once he'd celebrated his victory as such, he then went back to the hold, which prompted Priest to come out and chase him off, and that's how we ended Raw. So it makes sense for that to end Raw. That's the world title feud running into the major pay-per-view. It makes complete sense that was the end of Raw. So,
You know,
At least they got the ending right this week. Sorry, Pete.
I don't know if they were legit or not, because Priest isn't. I never thought Priest was that good. A few of Priest's punches onto Gunther looked really, really stiff. A few towards the end looked like a couple actually connected. I thought.
Oh,
But
then
I was like, oh.
I'll be honest. Let's see Gunther give Priest some receipts at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
that'll be fun.
This is the thing. So even if they were stiff, Gunther's a stiff wrestler back. So
Yeah.
it's not.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
He'd just punched him backstage, I reckon, just to give him his receipt. Then
No, I think he'll
save
do
it
it
for
in the
Slam.
ring. Yeah.
Save it for Slam, but I can imagine there's going to be a few receipts happening.
he could be tasty.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they've gone, just let's go for it and just see what happens.
The oracle of the Twitter spheres, the wrestling news, the wrestling website things. Would you like to lead on for the
There's
just
actually
general chat and indies?
there was actually a fair bit of news this week. To be fair.
There was, yeah.
Well, I say this
knew
week.
about
This
these
is
first-
over 2 weeks, so it's. So yeah,
I knew about these first couple.
MVP turned up at Bloodsports a couple of days ago as we're filming this. Cut a promo saying that his contract was up and that he isn't going back to the other place. Obviously, talking about WWE. Obviously, it's heavily rumoured that Lashley's done as well.
Best thing to happen to Montez Ford.
Where Lashley's going to end up, I don't know. But Lashley could end up back with MVP.
TNA?
As a team again. There's also talk that maybe AEW are interested in signing the Hurt Business with Shelton as well, because Shelton's obviously still.
I don't want it. Why does everyone have to go to AEW?
TNA.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Lashley and TNA and MVP would I think would slap.
I don't disagree, but
It's just where they.
I'm just telling you.
Lashley
what
versus Nick Namath. It's just waiting to happen, isn't it?
Yeah,
just waiting.
But money talks, and AEW have a lot more of it.
With them two leaving, though, would they potentially be replaced by Penta and Phoenix, do we think, as their contracts come to the end?
They have said they're interested.
There's rumours.
Don't know when their contract is up yet, but yes, their contract is up very soon, and there was a lot of speculation about Penta. I think we mentioned it on the last podcast. To be fair, that Penta coming to WWE, they definitely want him. The Phoenix news has only just come up, because it understood that Phoenix's contract's a little bit longer than Penta's, so it'll be a couple of months later.
Unfortunately, that's just going to lead into the whole LWO storylines.
I don't think it will. Because, and I don't think they should bring him in as a tag team either.
No.
Ew.
So Phoenix
Controversial.
may end up in that tag team story stuff, just because Phoenix has got a very Rey Mysterio-esque look, and his high flying ability is more suited to that sort of thing. Penta, I think they could do something completely different with him. They could bring Penta in as an absolute badass.
I remember saying to you, didn't I? It was about a month or two ago. I watched one of Penta's matches, and I hadn't seen much of him before, and I was like, wow, this guy is actually amazing. Yeah. He's a lot better than I really even thought he was.
Oh, he's brilliant. He is brilliant. Yeah. But unfortunately, WWE have gone, look, here's some Latinos all the way through this last few months. And they've gone, hey, we'll stick him in that storyline, and it's bloody boring. Do you know what, it's probably one of my least favourite storylines on WWE at the minute, and they'll just keep doing it because.
Well, you say that
they do.
Andrade is
I sit here and I give AEW enough crap. That is exactly what WWE would do.
You say that, but Andrade's currently in a story with Carmelo, which, granted, I've got no interest in that storyline either.
Andrade was in that.
He's putting on some great matches
for a couple of weeks. Though they still stuck him in that storyline for a couple of weeks.
I tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing, and I don't think they'll do it, but I really would like to. Remember the hype when Rey Mysterio first joined, and we get the little promo packages, and I'd like to see that with Penta again.
I think if they're going to do that sort of thing, they should do it for Phoenix. Penta, honestly, I think they should lean into his darker side and do that for his entrance and bring him in as this sort of demon.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind the promo build up and then push straight towards the top level.
Yeah, but Ray's promo didn't put him up to the top. But I know what you're saying.
He was up there as like a big thing when he first come in, though.
Yeah,
and I think
either way, I think they're a good step for WWE. And to be honest, MVP Lashley leaving isn't a big loss, and I think the people that it benefits the most are going to be the Street Profits. Because I think they weren't going the right route with them in the first place.
Because now they're stuck with B-Fab.
For now, she'll get released soon enough, mate. Or be put elsewhere.
Speaking of something I did mention earlier on, Daniel Garcia was written off TV a couple of weeks back by MJF attacking him, I believe it was. He was written off because his contract's actually up within the next couple of weeks. He hasn't signed a new deal yet. Obviously, if you remember, they booked a match with Daniel Garcia versus MJF at All In, which we all kind of went, why?
Yeah.
So if he does resign, then he's got a story built in where he can be inserted into the MJF Will Ospreay thing. If he doesn't sign, then he was written off, and MJF still looks like a bad guy, and he sails off into wherever he ends up next. These future endeavours, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, speaking of people injured or kayfabe injured or not kayfabe injured, Bryan Danielson still in AEW. So Bryan Danielson, as everybody knows, is constantly injured, has more injuries than should anybody ever have, and probably should have never wrestled again before going to AEW. Who knew? Oh, WWE doctors did. But he went to AEW anyway, has been wrestling like an absolute lunatic, and the doctors in AEW have now told him not to wrestle. He's not allowed to wrestle until his match at All In, which will be his final match as a full-time competitor. The match itself is actually past the date of Daniel Bryan's contract as a active superstar. Yep. So he's signed, obviously, he's already signed a one-off deal to come and do that one thing, but he's planning to remain with the company, just not as a on-screen talent. So he may still be on-screen, but he won't be an on-screen wrestler anymore. So as a wrestling talent, his contract is over.
I could see him being a general manager of some sorts.
Some sort of authority figure or something. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, he's done as far as being an active wrestler. As of All In, which is on the 27th, I believe? 25th. Okay. Yep. So less than a month away. I am looking forward to that show, mainly because it's on at UK time, so we can all sit and watch it.
Exactly.
Well, again, I'm still keeping an eye on tickets. I'm still...
Yeah, and
still thinking about it.
Yeah, if it comes to a time where the prices are right, I'll drive down for the day, but I'm not promising anything.
The problem I've got is that, Pete, you wouldn't be willing to sit up on the top tier, even at the bottom of the top tier, would you?
I don't know.
The answer's no. Let's be
to be fair, if you're that far up, you might as well be at home.
Yeah, that is true.
Nah.
It's going to be a good atmosphere.
For the amount that you're going to spend.
You know, 30 quid, mate. 30 quid a ticket.
And how much does it cost to get there?
30 quid for me.
So
it's even less for Pete.
60 odd quid.
Yeah.
To sit and watch it on the screen.
I was going to say if my mum wanted to go, because she's a blue light card light holder. I don't think she'd want to go.
Yeah, apparently £2.75 to get a blue light card ticket.
You can buy up to 3 tickets, and you can take anyone else in with you, but the blue light card holder has to be there as well.
Let's have a look. I'm having a quick look now. Well, you guys carry on. I'm just going to check our prices for the area we were setting, if they're still the same price.
But yeah, that's what it is for that one.
Yeah, still the same price as what we paid last year.
Triple H and Nick Khan. Speaking of UK stuff, Triple H and Nick Khan came over and met with some politician bloke in London about bringing Mania here.
Some politician black. He's the mayor of London.
The mayor of London, mate. Come
the
on.
one that said he wanted to bring Mania over.
I don't care.
Put some fucking respect on his name.
Sadiq Khan.
Don't care. I'm not getting sucked into being
No,
pro or con when it comes to any politician.
You can't act like a moron and be like, I don't know who he is.
I tell you what is a con. Why did we only get a mini belt? What was going on with that mini belt picture?
I've got a feeling that they didn't book travel luggage and it was just handheld luggage. Like, there you go.
They literally give to American footballers full-size belts. Anyone that wins a competition, full-size belts.
Yeah.
Over in Saudi, you get gold full-size belts and we get a mini belt.
I think it was a last-minute thing and I don't think they planned to do it. It was just like, oh, crap. There you go.
I'd rather have not been done. Because it looked so pathetic.
I've had a Oakley, fucking hell.
Yeah, the mini belt done me in. But, oh well.
It was interesting.
Beth Phoenix is a free agent. I thought she already was.
No, she was signed to a WWE Legends deal. If you remember the last time we saw her, she was in matches with Edge.
They signed
versus
up to that as well, yeah.
Genuinely didn't know, Miz and Maurice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've been wondering why she's not turned up in AEW already, to be fair.
So she does the voice at the beginning of Adam Copeland's music in AEW. You Think You Know Him is actually Beth. But yeah, Beth hasn't turned up in AEW at all. And now she's a free agent. It's definitely possible that she could. She won't be able to use the Phoenix name, as that is WWE copyright, but she may be able to just go in as Beth Copeland.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, it's definitely a possibility. If that's going to happen, it's not going to happen for a little while anyway, because obviously Adam Copeland is out with an injury because he's an idiot and jumped off a cage and landed on his legs.
At 50 odd
years old. Yeah, just not smart at all.
Dumb wasted time.
Speaking of people who aren't very smart, Sammy Guevara's returned to Ring of Honor, and Jesse Ventura has returned to WWE.
Wow!
I was not expecting that one.
Yeah. What, Sammy or Jesse? I know Jesse. I know Jesse.
I mean, they're the nicest.
I know Jesse. But yeah, Sammy Guevara returning to Ring of Honor. It's strange to not see him going back to the main show with AEW and to go on to Ring of Honor instead. But I've got a feeling that may be a slight punishment, to be honest with you. I think he's under contract with AEW and they've just gone, you cause us way too many problems, so we're just going to send you down there.
The thing is, he's a great talent, but he does cause a lot of issues. Yeah.
As for Jesse, he's obviously he was only visiting. There's been a video go out of him speaking to Punk. He is back sort of within the fold of WWE, and they are talking to him again, and he's obviously communicating with them. Whereas, as you know, for years and years, they wouldn't talk to him, he wouldn't talk to them, and whenever he spoke about them, it was always very negative.
He had issues with two people, and he was very vocal about it. But those two people aren't around, so...
Jesse Ventura back around. It wouldn't be surprised if he turned up if we had a Legends Raw or something like that, if he turned up doing commentary for a night or something like that. I think that'd be quite cool.
Which I wouldn't hate. I think
that'd be quite cool. Speaking of things that Phil won't hate, Natty... Oh, you probably will hate, actually. Natalia still hasn't been around for a show since signing her new contract back at the last pay-per-view, I believe.
When she re-signed, has this been said that she re-signed a wrestling contract as such?
I haven't heard that much detail about it, to be honest with you.
I said I wouldn't be surprised to have her as a trainer with a lot of people working. I think that's where they should... She's going to end up there eventually.
She's definitely going to end up working in the performance center. Like she lives right around the corner. Obviously, her husband is the thing that they're all really wanting, because obviously AEW were interested in getting their husband as well.
Yep.
Because he's doing the producing for most of the women's stuff in WWE at the moment.
I wonder if they give her
years now.
I wonder if they give her a schedule where going, look, you can take your time, but you come and work here, and we'll see how it goes for a bit.
So it'll be no surprise that I follow her on Instagram. And there are a lot of little shorts of her doing Loads of stuff in the ring with various different people. So
Yeah.
that might just be where they've got her at the minute. I don't know.
Yeah. Just helping out some of the youngsters and
like I say,
she
has been doing that for a while. She was doing that for a long time anyway. So
if they are going to care about doing that, please can you do me a favour? Send over Jade Cargill for a bit, because I think Jade Cargill could really do with it.
It's crazy because the amount of people that have come in and have been paired with Natty as like their first thing, and we've all gone, oh God, why?
This is the perfect reason.
This is the person that they probably should have paired with Natty, and instead,
can we stick Bianca with Natty instead? Actually,
just make that the triple team. Like,
that'd work well.
No, at least there'll be someone that could wrestle decent in the team then.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Construction of the SummerSlam set has started as of yesterday. As you're watching this, today. Tuesday. It's not on until the set. I said the construction of the set. Come on. So obviously it's not on until Saturday. This is Tuesday that they've started building. Apparently there's already a dome over where the ring's going to be that they've put up, and it's going to be a standard stadium show with a giant, whatever you want to call it, over the ring.
Weather in Cleveland. I'm just gonna.
Right.
You carry on.
We haven't mentioned it, but yes, seeing as we've alluded to it multiple times, there is a 3-hour pre-show for SummerSlam. So it starts at 9 p.m. our time, ends at midnight, and then the actual show starts. There are no matches officially announced for the pre-show so far, but they have announced that there's going to be several sit-down interviews with several of the stars that haven't been aired that are going to be exclusive to the pre-show. That was announced on Raw. So there'll be one with, I think, Priest, one with Gunther, one with Seth, one with Drew, one with Punk. So there's several like big interviews that they're going to sit down and do for that period.
I said this is what they're going to do now. They're going to do, because we had one sit down with Seth, didn't we?
I believe that's what they said anyway. But yes, we did. We did have bits of the Seth one where he was talking about the stuff at Mania with The Rock and all sorts of.
And this is what's going to happen here, I think now. But we're getting a 3-hour pre-show.
I must admit, I watched the 2-hour pre-show for whatever the last pay-per-view was. I can't even remember now. It wasn't Money in the Bank, was it? It was Money in the Bank, yeah. So I watched the 2-hour pre-show for that, which was stupidly long. But the interview segments that I'd mentioned, they were actually really good. Like
I think the only bad thing is, when you're streaming, you can't just sit there in silence and listen to them.
You can. I get what you're saying, but you can. It's
just a bit of a struggle sometimes.
Especially with the thing is with the pre-show. The pre-shows are free on somewhere. Yeah. So we can technically just sit there in silence and allow the audio to play out, because
I suppose that's not too bad. Otherwise, because to sit there in silence, anyone that can't hear it,
To be fair, my plan for the pre-show for SummerSlam is we are going to be live for it. I know you guys don't want to do it, so turn up when you want. But I'm going to go live at the beginning, sit and watch it with the stream, and then you guys turn up when you turn up, and we'll adjust cameras and stuff on the stream, unfortunately. But it's not going to hurt.
Can I do my Michael Fish impression?
I don't know what that means.
I'd like to update everyone that there is going to be scattered thunderstorms for Cleveland on Saturday.
Over the weekend.
Oh,
fun.
On the Saturday.
Saying that,
fun.
Specifically the Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there's expected thunderstorms for me.
Irrelevant for you, really, mate. Worst case scenario, you're offline.
Exactly.
What are you on about?
I want to see it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're in a stadium. Ooh. This is my point, Pete. Yeah. They're in a stadium.
Something else was announced, and I've just seen it's not on there. We have a host for SummerSlam.
Was announced, you're right. It was announced on Raw. I forgot to mention it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have a host. The Miz is going to be hosting. So I'm glad The Miz is doing something, because it's in Cleveland and I didn't want him to...
Yeah, it'd have been pointless if If he didn't, him and Logan are going to get some sort of
the Miz is
something.
The Miz is hosting, and R-Truth managed to persuade him to bring hors d'oeuvres because he's got to be a good host. It's just,
and he's like, I'm not bringing
awful.
hors d'oeuvres. And then they were like, who wants hors d'oeuvres? He's like, I want hors d'oeuvres.
It's better than asking him what flavour ice cream he was. It was that.
We'll move on.
Horrendous. That was the most horrendous. That was the last time I've seen the Miz.
And our last little scoop, which literally we got given about 5 minutes before we started recording all of this, was a source one WWE source had told Fightful that they wouldn't be surprised to see some additions or alterations to the SummerSlam card, because as of right now, the show features 7 singles matches without additional stipulations. So just 7 straight one-on-one matches.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's it does include a special guest referee.
But
so I'd argue 6 personally, but there we are.
The other 6 matches are all title matches.
Yeah, that's the only one that's not a title match. I don't know. It could happen.
Additions and alterations
and just stay as is.
It could be anything really. So I'm interested to see what's still going to change, because things can still change.
Yeah,
I'll get to it because it's part of my prediction as well. But Phil, would you like to talk about your week in wrestling history for this week?
Yeah, so I've gone with the 31st of July as this is when the video will be out on the channel.
Yep.
It was a pretty dull week, to be fair, but this was the best of what I picked. On WCW Nitro, at the First Star Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, Lance Storm became a triple champion when he defeated Chavo Guerrero via submission for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Do you know? Well, you will do because you've seen it, but
we can read
comment
it,
if you know. He was also holding the United States title and the Hardcore title at the same time.
If I could be serious for a minute.
Big.
Yeah.
Lance Storm's great.
Lance Storm. I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Very boring. But
he was
very good.
Really, really boring. I think that's the thing. People switched off not because he's wrestling, because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be serious for a moment.
Shall we move on then to the final moments of the week? Our moment, our fan sign, and our predictions for the next week. I want to talk about my moment of the week because Link moaned about me earlier in the video. It's because mine's a combined one. It wasn't really this week. It was kind of a bit of both. But I thought it was nice to see other shows putting on good pay-per-view / random dynamites. We've had one after another. I thought that was quite good to see.
No,
it's always nice to see competition.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So that was my personal moments of the week. Mine wasn't a moment. Mine was more a moment in wrestling, because I'm a good guy.
Yeah, I think leading on from that, I don't think mine was really a moment. It was a match, and the gauntlet match on SmackDown, I think, was very good to have. Just a really decent amount of wrestling for a change, and a good match. Lasted a while, was most of the show. I know we had that with AEW a couple of weeks back when they did like an hour-long match between 2 people, but
It was a good match. It was a good match. I didn't want to take Phil's bit because it was an amazing moment. But I got some bit that made me really, really laugh. Was at one point when Jay came out, Michael Cole started yeeting with his big foam hand. And you could see he was having the time of his life.
He's living his best life, Michael Cole, at the moment.
And I was just
He's
like, do you know what?
Premature yeeting. It was the whole thing, because it happened during the adverts, and it was just.
It was just the big blue foam hand. I'm like, oh my god, that's a plug just to sell the foam hands. But Michael Cole was lovely. He didn't really care. So I was like, yeah, do you know what? That cheered me right up. My moment of the week for Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Fair play.
Which left me with the White Six and the Gable segment on Raw, which I thought, the unmasking in particular, I thought that was really cool.
Probably
enjoy that a bit.
I'm gonna also mention for you, Phil, seeing as I deleted it, and you didn't actually mention it, but you did mention your moment of last week was the actual Sister Abigail onto Chad from Uncle Howdy, where he planted him like a tree, which was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Chad sold that like an absolute boss.
Did other stuff happen last week apart from the JORTS?
What? Apart from what?
Apart from the JORTS.
Oh, go away.
Oh, the JORTS. with it. Right, okay. I didn't really have a fan sign of the week, I'll be honest.
I didn't have a fan
I didn't
sign this
find
week.
one.
I tried. I did try and look, but I didn't spot one.
I spotted
Phil.
that's cool.
Go on, Phil.
Go on.
Go on, Phil.
I did this time because I never usually pick them out, but it was quite obvious. You couldn't really miss it. It was when Seth was walking out. It was the Drew needs anger management sign. I thought that was.
I spotted a couple. There was a get the F out. You know the old WWE.
Oh, I love a good get the F out.
This one was get the F back in.
Imagine.
Very good.
Dom is lucky AF. That was just a sign that purely said that. And there was two really random ones. One of them was, "Is your dad hot?" Question mark.
At the minute, he's probably boiling because it's so hot. I'm dying.
And the one
I don't know many people are.
Was no reference to it at all. It just said, "Go banana." And they had about 5 bananas all drawn around it. And it was right on the hard camera. It was shown every single time on Raw this week. And I was like, I just couldn't stop spotting that one sign. Go banana. What did go bananas?
Random.
It was go banana.
Pete eats banana the wrong way.
Right. Predictions for the next week, boys.
Roman's going to be at SummerSlam.
Okay.
It's got to happen, hasn't it? It needs to happen.
I don't disagree with you, but it's not my prediction. But yeah, I am with you. Pete or Phil?
Mine is that Gunther will lose at Slam.
A bold one. It's a bold one. I can see it, but I can also see it winning. So
I don't want it, but I can definitely see it. Yeah.
we are heading into. The thing is, if he loses, we're heading into Germany next.
Yeah.
And what
Where are they?
reason?
Germany?
What reason have they possibly got to put him back into the number one contendership if he doesn't win?
True, yeah.
Straight
there is
away,
that. I
like-
hadn't really thought that far ahead, to be fair, but I just thought, yeah, I don't see him winning at Slam. What happens after that, I have no idea.
I'll get into that. I'll get into that in after Pete. Go on, Pete.
Okay. I'm going to say the Bloodline are winning 2 belts this weekend. This Friday.
Wait, what? You think Solo's going to win?
No, they're winning 2 belts. They're winning the tag team titles.
You're an
this
idiot. I
Friday.
thought you meant 2 different belts then for a second.
Yeah, that's
They're
why you
gonna
said it
win.
like that.
Yeah.
Because
They're
you're a
go-
tit.
They're going to win the tag team titles Friday.
Fair enough. Well, I'm saying that nearly all the matches are going to... Well, not nearly all of them. I think the Priest Gunther match is going to end with Priest getting saved, right? And this is his whole thing of him getting saved by the Judgment Day. It's the whole thing of stop getting involved in my business. Gets him the title. They don't get involved in his business at Bash, and he loses it to Gunther. So that's the reason Gunther gets his rematch, is because the Judgment Day cost him.
Right.
They don't get involved next time at Bash at Berlin. Gunther will win it at Bash.
There is a lot of... I do it by myself being mentioned.
But again, mine's a bit more than that as well, because Bailey Nia, I think Tiff's getting involved. Whether she's cashing in, I don't think so, but that's not ending. And Meet Jin as well. That's not ending straight as. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, that's totally ready for Dom to be involved in that one. What? That could go either way, though. I'm kind of on the fence. Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, there's no way that's ending in just Cody versus Solo. That's going to end up with Judgment Day. Why on earth would it be Judgment Day? The Bloodline, and then whoever else comes out to help Cody. Logan and LA Knight probably will be quite straightforward. Maybe The Miz, actually. That's the host moment right there. Cost Logan the win. Gives it to LA Knight. Maybe gives The Miz a chance for a match down the line against LA Knight for the title, perhaps. And Sami Zayn, Bron Breakker. Okay, is Dragunov's injury legit? Or are they just building that way? Maybe Dragunov could get involved. I think all of them could end up in shenanigans, if I'm honest. All of those. And then obviously Punk, Drew McIntyre's already going to be shenanigans just between the 3 of them. So I think it's going to be a shenanigans slam.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a big prediction.
Do you know what? We should also...
But I think that's why it's all signals.
We should also mention, before we finish off, me, Pete, and Dan did predictions for this year, SummerSlam to SummerSlam.
We did.
Which will be ending, obviously, on Saturday. Which means that the day after the podcast, next week's podcast,
So the date comes out Wednesday.
we will be filming for the next year's predictions, obviously including Phil this time.
Correct.
As well as going through last year's predictions and seeing who got what right, who got what wrong, and why Pete is so bad at picking predictions when it comes to doing things every year.
Time.
You just go so detailed, mate. So detailed. It's just like...
And that'll be out on the Friday, so the 9th. So we're going to record that on the 7th, out on the 9th.
So, yeah, there's loads coming up this week. Obviously, we will be live for Smackdown. We'll be live for SummerSlam. We'll be live for Raw. Because all three of those shows look stacked as well this week.
Mm-hmm.
We will then have the podcast out on Wednesday for you. And that out for you on Friday before we're live again for SmackDown. We'll still be putting out what happened for SummerSlam as well. There's going to be loads of stuff coming out on the channels, so just keep your eyes open. Don't forget as well our other channels. We've still got weekly videos going out on the Heel Project's original channel for things like the GTA RP stuff that's still going out on there. And over on the football channel, have you got anything coming out this week, guys?
Yes, we have. Not entirely sure which one it is. There's 2 different videos ready to go. So we'll see. I'm not going to say
There's
them.
a mystery video coming out on the football channel this week. So make sure that you're subscribed to all of those down at the bottom. And
give me a clue to what it's about.
It's about football.
Yeah.
There we go.
Remember to play with your bell, everybody. Remember to play with your bell.
Yeah, but as always, thank you very much for joining us, boys. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, ding on the bell, as Link says, and we will catch you in the next one.
See ya.
Laters.
Peace.
Look at that, podcasting. We did it.